Hello, welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Mike Carroll and Bill Englehart. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, um, all that good stuff. So
Wish everyone well.
today is 21st, so we won't have another webcast before Christmas.
Oh, this is it. Did you get our gift?
Yeah, I got it. Same thing I got.
Okay. We put in your stash of cigars, I put a couple extra cigars in there.
Yeah. Put 2 in, took 4 out.
You know, but they're really good ones.
Except the 2 he put in were 2 of the 4 he took out.
Yeah, they were white owls. They were El Presidentes.
Well, that must have been where that super sweet
They could have
came
been
from.
Emerson's. Were they Emerson's or white Emerson's?
Emerson's. Good. Boy, you're going back in time.
I wondered where that King Edward came from.
My dad smoked nothing but cheap cigars. King Edward's, Emerson's,
I
white owl.
smoked El Macos.
Oh boy.
Now that was a cigar back in the day.
Dutch Master was about the most expensive.
That was a fancy cigar.
That was about 10 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Mark Twain said this place has a lot of really good 5-cent cigars. Trouble is they want 10 cents for them. All right. Anything before we get going?
Bill, you got anything you want to say?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes we talk before the show starts.
And we got nothing left to say.
And we've got nothing else to say. So we'll look at pictures and good memories.
We do that to protect the innocent and keep me from getting sued and stuff like that.
True.
So
I know where the boundaries are. I just don't follow them.
yeah. Okay. We got a bunch of pictures. A lot of these pictures this week
oh my goodness.
did not scan very well.
I can't see this.
So some of them are a little hard to see, but I threw them in anyway.
Oh, I don't know.
Man, oh man. I mean, this is Little League, but this is after us.
These guys look like they might be a little bit older than me. And
79, 80.
That looks like Kevin Connor back there, but I can't tell.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let's see if we can find some better ones.
And it looks like Kevin Connor. I can't tell. That's John Hole, isn't it?
Well,
coaching baseball.
is that Gary Neal? Could be John Hole. Do you see one of the Hole boys there?
Well, I'm trying to.
You see Dalton or Dylan?
No, it wouldn't be them. I think it'd be Duff.
Oh, you think the Dufferoni's in there? Well, is that Cleveland?
It looks like Jeff Cleveland, far left, back row.
And well, Duff's got to be in there then. What would? Huh?
If
that's John Hole.
If that's John Hole.
Well, I'm trying to find for some reason.
You have any answers on these?
Well, I was going to say, for some reason, my pictures on Facebook are completely out of order from what I have on here. So no, Dave Matthews said looked like Phil Waters, but like I said, they didn't scan very well, so they're kind of hard to.
Good Lord, we're gonna whip on these.
But we've got some better ones coming up. We just
okay.
Gosh,
is that a girl? Long hair back here?
Looks like it, doesn't it? Unless it's a glove on the
put a glove.
Fence. But the coach on the right looks like Rents.
Leonard
Rents. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah. Now this one I recognize a couple of people in this one.
Okay, give us a chance.
Far back right, Chris Carson. I don't know.
Is that Denny Meyer?
Oh, this guy. Who was that guy? The coach.
Well, the cars are, let me see. Is that Phil Myers in the back?
No,
It could be Danny.
Danny Meyer, tall guy.
right in here.
No, not the tall one.
Not
Right,
the
that
tall
kind of
one.
looks like a Dan Meyer smile, but I
Right
don't know if
there,
that is or
yeah.
not.
Oh, okay.
And the kid standing next to him looks like Chris Carson to me.
I think this in the back row.
Yeah,
I think this is older than Chris Carson.
this guy,
Right.
is Doug. He was a deputy sheriff.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
Douglas. But that's
Lyle Douglas,
Lyle Douglas. I knew I'd seen him.
deputy sheriff, radio operator, and they wound up running alcohol recovery thing in Champaign, Lighthouse or whatever the name of it was, up north edge of Champaign.
and the woman is Mrs. Smalling.
I'll be darned.
Dean Smalling's wife, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name off the top of my head. It's Mrs. Smalling to me.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Got any names there, David?
The one in the middle, kneeling, is Mark Smalling. And the one between him and his mom, I believe that's Scott Douglas.
Well, they don't have enough for a team.
Yeah. Apparently not.
They're missing a right fielder.
Yeah, and I don't think that is Dan Meyer, but
I know.
I'm not sure who the other ones are. But anyway, that's a couple of them.
That's Gary Bates is that Gary Bates on the right?
Beto.
And that looks like
I think that is.
What's his name? He used to run the Tuscola parts.
Niece, Jimmy.
Jimmy Neese.
His dad, Larry.
Larry Neese on the left and Beto. Let's see if Steve's in here somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Probably the second to left on the ground looks like Steve, maybe.
Yeah, it could be Steve.
Oh,
Whoa. There's Rick McGuire, my cousin, on the left, and there's Dennis Chaplin on the right.
Chaplin. Yeah.
And I'm trying to see the guys there. Would Denny's boy be playing then?
Denny's son, Nathan.
Is he there?
Well, at one time, Nathan played with Nathan Engelhardt
You see?
on the same
You see
team.
your son there?
No. But I've been wrong before.
Once or twice.
Okay, Phil Kennedy says by Rick McGuire, Jeff Hines, Kevin Wiggle, front row second from left, Rick Moody third from right, Dan Hance.
Wow. These guys are a lot older than Nathan Chaplin.
And Dan Hance says Chris Cordy bottom left, Ed Baranek next to himself on the left, Greg Dukeman behind him. So I thought that looked like Ed Baranek here right in the middle.
Well, that's what we thought.
Dan Hance next to him.
Honestly, Rick Moody, I can see that.
Yeah.
The rest of them,
The rest of them are imposters.
Other than Rick McGuire and Dennis Chaplin.
And he says Greg Dukeman's behind him. Well, that could be.
Looks like Barry Denbo.
So most of these are are a little bit older than me, but this is my era. That's one of the Harris brothers on the left.
Uh-huh. Another team that's short an outfield or a right fielder.
That's Greg Campbell.
Looks like Chuck Campbell on the lower left.
Well, it could be, I suppose. Kind of hard to tell. Kind of looks a little like Mark Ferris next to him, but
I was going to say, is that a Ferris?
I think Chunk would have been a lot bigger than him. He's about 30 years older.
Hoppy Connor and
Back in the days when sideburns were longer.
Yeah, look at that one guy's sideburns. Look at the hair on
Look
that.
at
Two of
that.
those guys have long hair.
Jiminy. This wasn't our era,
Oh,
was it?
Bucko and Murray would have
Oh, man.
taken those guys behind the woodshed and put a lawnmower on their head.
Cut their hair.
Okay, Tammy Reynolds says Tina Peach in the back row and Vicky Coverstone in the front row would be the
Oh, the girls playing.
team. Girls
Playing.
She says Tommy Peach in the front row. I don't see
Tommy Peach in the front row where?
Well, that's what I'm.
Gonna be this guy.
Unless it's the second one from the left, I don't.
Yeah.
Man,
Second
be the
left.
only
that
one.
sure doesn't look like the Tom Peach I knew.
No, she says coaches are Larry Dorsey and Hop Connor.
Larry Dorsey.
Yeah.
So that means that Kenny's in there somewhere, and that's Kenny in the bottom left then. Kenny Dorsey was a good sized boy.
She had the color
Always
picture of it.
liked
So.
him. Yeah, that would be Kenny Dorsey.
Oh, there's
Oh, that's Brookins.
Yeah.
Johnny and Jimmy Brookins' dad, so they got to be in here somewhere. Johnny.
Oh, Jim's third one from the left in the front row.
And Johnny looks like he's third from the right in the back. Is that Johnny?
Yeah, it's Johnny in the back, third from
Third from the right.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's third from the left on the bottom. Who else?
In front of John, it would be
Lee Graham.
Lee Grimm. And then over here on the left looked like the Staler twins.
Uh-huh.
And Lisa Schultz says Mitch Schultz right front. That looks like Mitch. See if we got any other names. No, that's about it.
Pretty good ball players in that picture.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think who the two big boys are. If that's Johnny B back there, those kids to the right of him, pretty good size.
They may be older.
They might be.
Okay, here we're out of this.
Bosch Memorial.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Last week we had design model of base memorial, and then this week when I dove into the negatives, I found some interior and other shots of the memorial.
There it is. What a screwed up mess.
Precast concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And the charge to the architect was to tour England and come up with a typical English countryside church. And this is what they came up with.
You know, they have a lot of pubs in England.
Well, maybe he got in a pub and never got out.
Nothing says English countryside like
Precast concrete.
And squared off mid-century modern furniture.
Right. That he must have gone to Germany and looked at
Von Schnitzel,
the Bauhaus work of Mies van der Rohe. You think he studied Mies van der Rohe in Germany instead of going to England?
I'll bet all this furniture was custom made.
Oh yeah.
For this memorial, probably cost 3 times as much as a regular.
Well, they had to spend the money. They left no money for maintenance, that's for sure. It was cold and damp and not a good insulator and not a good moisture barrier. Well, we talked about those guys.
Bob Romine was president, Reed Blaine, Paul. Joseph Cobble was the architect.
I like
Goog Construction.
Look on that plaque. It says done in accordance with his will.
They wanted to express that on the plaque, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they missed the mark.
This wasn't our fault. We did this in accordance to the will.
Yeah, and the will said English countryside.
English countryside concrete.
Yeah.
Man.
Maybe they thought it said they misread it and said countryside. They thought it said concrete.
You know, that's a possibility, Dave. There's the very warm, welcoming entry.
Yeah, well, that looks like a medieval type castle.
Yeah, that's the Knights of the Round Table used to meet in there. There we go. Looks like an execution chamber.
Yeah,
At Sing Sing. Looks like Sing Sing.
looks like something you'd throw somebody over the balcony.
That's a state prison.
This is a view from one of the upper windows, it looks like. I don't know
Yeah.
what all that is on the roof there. A
Well,
cute
that's probably
tree.
it's collect stuff from the area.
Well, it's covered with plastic, like maybe it's compost or something. Who knows?
Well, there you go.
Wouldn't you like to climb these stairs every day?
Well, I think Bobby Art's parents, weren't they caretakers out there, lived out there for a while?
I thought Jack Stickles.
You think Jack Stickles' parents?
But you know what? I went to 2 events out there. I went to a wedding reception there with my brother-in-law, and then I believe they had Arnhem Bears service there,
Did they?
memorial
I went
service.
to an execution out there.
Well, it looks like it.
It's
What's that, a
You know
Target?
what?
Looking back at the front door.
What is that thing?
I thought, and this was, I
Entry?
knew I recognize this. You know where this is now?
The vault.
It's at the vault.
Second, going up the second floor of the vault. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is on display.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was where the execution was that I saw.
Yeah.
That's austere, isn't it? That's German minimalism right there. That's austere.
All right.
Okay, now we're at Max
Well,
Park.
are we back in America?
I think we're in Arthur.
We're at the county fair,
We're at the county fair up on the thing, and the winner is,
and the winner was Gene Waters, maybe.
I don't know. You dated every fair queen for about 15 years in a row.
Yeah, I don't know.
That looks like Jean there with a spit
Yeah,
curl.
sure. It looked like we're sitting down there.
Could be. No, it doesn't.
No,
look
that's
like
not
that.
her.
No.
Yeah, but that's a different dress though. So
Yeah, see, that's different.
Maybe
that's a
that's
different
Maybe that's,
different award. I got a lot of pictures this week, so I'm going to try and go through them a little bit.
oh,
fast.
there's Blondie. There's
Bonnie
Blondie.
Atkinson,
Yeah,
what a gal.
everybody liked
Everyone liked her.
Blondie. That was mother of Bill Atkinson, who was a year ahead of me, and then Ronnie was your class or one behind.
No, he's my
Ronnie.
class.
And Duke. And her husband, of course, was, I remember Skeezix was an
Skeezix.
airplane aficionado. I remember reading about Skeezix in Popular Mechanics. They had different articles about inventions and stuff he did with planes. Very
Yeah, he was
talented.
well known, and
Well known in the airplane circles.
these may be taken in Atwood.
There's Skeezix. Yep, that's Skeezix Atkinson.
Wonder what year that was.
This has got to be, gosh, 80s,
Might be before that.
70s.
I think that's is he the brother to our friend,
Yeah.
the late Jerry
Jerry.
Atkinson?
Yeah, we've had Jerry on the program, and Jerry's written about Skeezix and some of the things he's done.
Yeah.
I don't know Skeezix's first name. It was Blondie's first name. Wanda?
Yeah, I think.
Wanda, yeah.
Wanda. What's Skeezix's first name?
Don't know.
Musics.
Don't know.
Jackie Brookins says it was Earl.
Earl Atkinson. I think she's right.
Jackie would know.
Jackie would know. Bill was in her class. Bill Atkinson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one I recognize some here, and this one's
That looks like Jim Knight and his wife,
Mary,
Mary Knight.
former wife.
Former wife, excuse me. And we ought to have a Knight somewhere in this photo, but once again, now we're missing 2 outfielders. They must just had a roving center fielder.
This would be Jerry. Somewhere in there.
I know. You think it's the third one from the right?
God, man, I don't know.
Okay, the ones I recognize is right in front of Mary is Fritz Cross.
Okay.
Looks
Third
like
one
to
after
me.
the right. Third one after
Yeah.
the right.
And the far right is Bumper Ferguson.
That's Bumper Ferguson. Yes, sirree.
In the middle, in the catcher's gear, is Beth Hunt. Between Fritz and Bumper is Lauren Stevens. He lived about half a block from my house. The second one from the left, I'm pretty sure that's Kurt Ferris.
Could be.
Daryl's nephew.
Yeah.
Now Beth Hunt says left to right: Janet Hill, Kurt Ferris, Maria Weber, Beth Hunt, Fritz Cross, Lauren Stevens, Bumper Ferguson, coaches Jim and Mary Knight.
Real quick Bumper story. Ned and Adriana's son and daughter. Bumper was valedictorian. I think he wound up being a famous plastic surgeon and a military officer. Graduation speech, very analytical, logical guy. He said, as we go forth in life into the future, it will be increasingly difficult to return to the past. I've never
forgotten that.
I've never forgotten that. I always remind him of it. He just says, quit reminding me of that.
In the Tuscola Hall of Fame.
Tuscola Hall of Fame. Yes, it is hard to go back to the past as the future goes forward. Yes. Smarter words
It's
never.
almost like Yogi.
Yogi Berra.
Quite successful.
Very, very successful. And his sister, I think,
Lori
got a doctorate in art history or whatever and was in charge of a museum out east, last I heard years ago.
Where's Ned?
Ned Adriana, I don't know. I know where they currently live. They've lived down in Arkansas, Hot Springs Resort. They've lived in Mattoon. They built a great home out or south of Arcola. They built a great home. They built one in town. I don't know where they currently live.
I think
Texas, maybe.
Kurt over here, I think, lives in Charleston, maybe in a group home. Spent a lot of time at our house growing up. He was a fixture at our house.
Yeah.
Loved Kurt.
Yeah, he was a good boy. His mother was a wonderful.
Well, he was raised by his grandmother.
His grandmother was a wonderful individual. That's
Ada.
Daryl's. Yeah, Daryl's.
Ada was as sweet as they came.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was a Barbie, wasn't she? Related.
Oh, I don't know. I remember
Daryl was cousin to Junior Barbie.
Huh.
Well, Ada, I remember going to their house when I was about 10 years old, and she told me that she and my grandpa were third cousins. So
David, you go all the way back to Moses and Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Juanita Brace on the left. And is that Ronnie Wynn? Who is that on the right? Last station.
Either Ronnie. Oh, yeah, it's Ronnie.
Could be Ronnie Wynn.
Yeah, I think so.
This boy ought to be here.
Hang on, then. Let me find him.
Right here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Looks like Becky. Second from the left.
Second from the left on the bottom row.
Yeah.
Ronnie Joe.
Standing behind him's one of the Von Lincolns. Is that Steve Von Lincoln? Trying to remember.
It looks like Steve to me, and that's next to him on his right would be Jonathan Baranek.
Yeah, with the checkered pants, which was their that was the league pants they used to wear. They were kind of Scottish team.
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
Is that Katrina Ross?
Well, it looks like her. That looks like Leonard. Steve Leonard.
No, he's older now.
A little older.
Yeah.
Well,
who's standing next to Ronnie Wynn though?
That's Hines. That's
Oh, Scott.
Yeah, I think that's Scott.
Yeah. You know what I remember about Scott Hines? It's funny what you remember if you got him in school. He had the best handwriting of any boy I ever had in
I've
school.
heard you talk about that. You've always called him Mr. Penmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't- that penmanship today and a dollar bill will get you senior coffee at McDonald's.
There you go.
Ron Wynn Jr. says there's a Thompson. So I'm
Oh,
not
Jeff.
sure.
Jeff Thompson?
Be Jeff. I'm not sure which one.
That'd be Jeff.
No.
He says Hines, Ross.
That's Jeff Thompson.
They
There.
said Ross. Is that good?
Yeah, that's Katrina Ross.
Couple Von Lankens. I see one Von Lanken. I'm not sure who the other one would be.
I think that's Jeff Thompson. His dad was a undertaker, but they went in the furniture business.
They bought J.R. North's
Yeah,
furniture store.
yeah. And Jeff played baseball for me that year. I coached. He was an outfielder.
Did he have good penmanship too?
Yes, yes. We called him number two.
Number two penmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard his nickname.
and he said he says a Dukeman. I think that bottom left is a Dukeman.
If it's a Dukeman, he should take off running. Remember, she was sister was such a good runner. Kathy Dukeman, I believe.
Yeah, this would be I think this would be the youngest Dukeman. Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. I should know it. His brother Greg was a year older than me.
Isn't it funny how adults back then wore those socks? Tall socks.
Hmm.
We all wore those
We all wore them.
striped. Yeah.
Well, that's Bev Hastings on the right,
Mm-hmm.
sat behind the table. And that is not Bob,
That's Tom Ellis.
Tommy Ellis.
Worked at CIPS. We're down at the lake.
Around down, which lake? Mattoon or Shelbyville?
Who knows?
I mean Sullivan. Could be Effingham even,
Yeah. Who knows?
Lake Sarah. Well, is that your
That's Fry.
That's the
Eddie Fry?
boy in the middle is the same kid in the last picture. Same shirt anyway.
Yeah,
Doesn't that look like?
it looks like Eddie Fry,
I don't know.
except for the hair. It looked like who's David's friend, the contractor in the town.
Contract. Oh, Adams.
Yeah, it looks like Adams, except for the hair.
But
It's
I don't.
not, yeah, it's not Gordon.
I said,
Who is it?
The on Facebook they say it's Ed Fry.
There you go.
Eddie
We got it
Fry.
right.
Eddie Fry. That looks like the Dreams of Tomorrow pageant
Mhm.
that I emceed.
I recognize one person in here.
Well, I see her on the bottom right. That's Jenny Porter.
That's my wife.
That's your wife.
On the ground,
You know, Jenny hasn't changed much.
not a drop.
Really, she still looks good.
Yeah.
Who'd she marry?
Oh, gosh. Don Dortner. Dortner, was that his name?
I don't know.
Stufflebum?
Yeah,
Don Stufflebum?
gives away cigars like they're candy.
Yeah.
There's another one.
What was this program anyway?
Tammy
4-H.
Tappan.
This is 4-H.
4-H.
Oh, I see.
I learned how to
Okay.
Back
cook.
to 4-H. But
Tammy
look at
Tappan.
Well, I should recognize some of these girls, but honestly, now look at Jenny.
that
Really, you
gorgeous.
can tell who that is.
Look at that gorgeous blonde.
Yeah, yeah. She's sitting there dreaming of some big guy to carry her off,
Yeah.
muscle bound.
What's that next to her? A hippopotamus?
No, that was,
I don't know. She looks really interested in the program, doesn't she?
yeah, she's bored. She's looking for an exciting guy to take her away to Tomorrowland.
Let me see if I got any names on this other one. Nope, nobody's commented. I didn't get them posted till this morning, so Not a lot of comments. So,
Looks like a cookie sale to me. I don't know.
yeah.
That's Meredith Inslee in the middle.
Mary who?
Meredith Inslee.
Is that Meredith?
I think. Doesn't it look like her kind of?
Well, her hair's kind of short back then, but maybe it is. Married Terry Von Lincoln,
Yeah.
Nick's brother. Of course, Terry's nickname was Nick too. That's why we call Lonnie Nick.
I think I'm going to give up on the names because for some reason the order is completely out of order from what's on Facebook. So
So you may have the answer. There's
Well, you know that.
Bill Rogers and
I did
come
see
on.
the other name. I'll give you a hint. Arcola.
Oh,
Oh, Nancy King.
Nancy Mertz King,
Yep.
the artist. Beautiful girl, great artist. I've got one of her paintings right here. I'll go show it to you. I got
Culture time.
culture time.
So you found a
Yeah,
picture.
this is original picture we have. You see it?
Yeah.
Nancy Mertz. It's a drawing of it's a plein air drawing of his house up in Wisconsin. And see her name right down here.
Mm-hmm.
This was bought for us. This was if I remember right, this was a housewarming gift from our good friends, the Petties, Mark and Bonnie. Bought that for Nancy when she was down there. And she's been Chicago area of artist of the year a couple of times. She's just a sweet, sweet gal.
Okay. Ready to go back to some pictures?
Yeah.
Ready.
So that concludes that one. I reckon one of those.
Well, we got one of them. I should know the other one.
Bill McCarty on the right.
Leisure suit time.
Yeah.
That would be the
Come on, that guy looks familiar.
mid-70s. He looks familiar, but I don't know who it is.
Late 70s.
It's at the church.
Catholic. Well, that's a Methodist.
That's a Methodist
Yeah, that's a
church.
Methodist church.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
There's the
Oh,
Methodist
God, there's
church
Bob Stout and his dad on the front row.
on the left. On the right, for looks like Gene Albritton. Is that Gene?
No, that's Doris Horn.
Doris Horn? Excuse me.
I used to ride to work with Doris. She was third grade teacher at Arcola, wonderful teacher. Had two sons, Mike and Pat. This might be your trial. I don't know.
Where's McCumber at? Doug was a loyal and faithful Methodist church patron for years. Okay.
All right, I
Yeah.
recognize some here.
Yeah, that's Phil Waters in the back.
I think kneeling down front on the right is Gail Cunningham, maybe.
Who's the politician on the left?
Well, he's running for county coroner.
Lee Grimm second in from the left and standing up.
Yep, that's Lee. And next to him,
Next to him is Kalmar.
no, I don't think so.
No.
I don't either.
Is it a Porter?
No, I think that's Nate Esquerdo.
Oh, Nate.
Nate, this kid?
Okay. Now I see Tom. That's Tommy Peach without a shirt on in front of Waters.
Yep, that's Tommy Peach. And in between him and Nate, is that
And Roger Harris.
Is that a Binion maybe? Yeah, Roger Harris back there in the back.
Yeah, I see Roger.
And is that let's see if I can. I'm not sure. This one's Roger. This
That's
looks
the other coach in the back with Phil Waters looks like Jim Bandy from Oakland.
It is.
Bandit. I went over to Auburn, sold insurance.
This is Brookins without a shirt.
That's John Brookins sitting down there without a shirt.
Is that John Murray next to him? Possibly.
Yes, I believe so. I believe
And
that's John.
Isn't that the,
the blonde without a shirt kind of looks like Todd Kearns to me. Not
this
sure.
looks like, slide it over a little bit. We can't see the last two guys.
I'll tell you what, that guy right there on the left looks like a guy that was a principal down at Paris Crestwood for years.
Well, I think that's Gil Cunningham who ran the farm credit.
This must be a basketball camp.
Yeah, it's a camp.
Bandy was a good athlete from Oakland.
Let's see. Chris Townsend says she sees John Kleiss.
Well, let me just see here. Pull it up.
Let me see if we see John.
Well, he's a dark-haired, good-looking guy. No, slide it to the right. Slide it over. Keep going.
Well, that looks like Larry or Lance Little. They're holding that striped ball.
Well, you know, it could be. That's why I thought looked like Todd Kearns, but that could be Lance.
John doesn't jump out unless he's
I'm not.
unless he's right next to Bandit right there,
Yeah, it may be him there. I don't.
right in front of Bandy.
That kind of looks like Tim Campbell, maybe there.
Now, what year did Gordon Adams' son? What year did he graduate?
He'd been with this group.
Is he?
Eric.
Is Eric sitting down on the left? Is he on the left of the one kneeling down?
I don't think so. His hair was blonder than that. I think that's John. This one?
Yeah.
That could be John Kleiss. I don't think that's Eric. Eric's hair was blonder than that.
Well, where's Duffer and where's Beto?
Basketball camp.
Yeah. Okay. That's I was gonna say this. This is his sister says that's Rod Collier on the far right.
No, we can't quite see it. There you go. I don't know.
Looks like Rod to me. And that'd be class
All right.
3 also. So
Are you
that's
in there,
all.
David?
No, I'm not in there. Told my wife, I said, I pulled some pictures hoping maybe I'd find a picture of myself, and instead I found 2 pictures of her.
Yeah. Well, that's a good Christmas gift.
So this taller one here kind of looks like Dan Hans to me, but I'm not
In the
sure.
face. Yeah, in the face. His feet look like him too, don't you think?
Yeah,
Shoes.
I always look.
The shoes look like Dan Hans's.
And this, yeah, I'm not sure. It looks a little like Chris Cordy, but I don't think it is.
I'm trying to think who that guy is in the suit and tie.
Yeah, who is that guy? Is he the commissioner of Biddy basketball, state of Illinois?
Yeah. I don't know. There you go.
Oh boy, that's Chris Hill, I think.
Looks like Chris to me.
It's a Chris, but who's that driving the boat?
I think that's what was that?
Malcolm.
Policeman on TV, Cannon.
Oh, that's
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his real name?
Cannon. I forget. He was a good actor, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
it was.
That's not who it is, but that's who it reminds me
Well,
of.
let's just say it is till we get a better answer. There's Patty Waters in the back.
Carl Connor sitting down eating.
Carl Connor left, then his wife. Eddie Fry and his wife.
That's Helen Sanderson sitting there.
In the middle.
It looks like her with her glasses.
Yeah.
Patty Waters there in the back with Ellis with his shirt off.
Looks like the same event as before.
I wonder if it's the ABC kind of thing or something.
I say that's Helen. May not be.
I don't know, but
but I suspicion it is.
that is Patty in the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the bun. Carl was an old Navy guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had that big Popeye tattoo.
Popeye,
He was
yeah.
strong guy.
He was a good baseball player.
Yeah, good guy.
Rudy
Really.
Huber says Carl Connor, Les Fry next to Helen, Tom Ellis shirtless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Marilyn Moody says that is Carl and Alice Connor with Helen.
You know,
Yeah.
Carl lived to be over 90.
Yeah. Moved to Florida. But I got tired of fighting the weather.
Good school board member. Visited every classroom, took a week's vacation to visit every classroom in the school
They
district.
took it seriously. That looks like Bill Huber's wife on the right. Susie, that's
Susie Huber, I think so.
And next to her that you can't see in the striped shirt is Bev Hastings.
I can't, yeah, we can't see it here.
That looks like Earl Pendergrass.
Earl the Pearl.
Yeah, Rudy says Earl Pendergrass and Mike Payne, question mark.
Mike Payne is back there with the glasses.
Oh, that's the guy in the sunglasses and his wife. That's Clarence Lucas and his wife.
Yeah, it says Lucas.
Becky's parents.
Yeah.
Or in-laws.
In-laws.
Who's the big guy?
That's your neighbor, Mike Payne.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mike. Well, he's tall. He's got the sunglasses. I don't know if he had a flat top. They have a flat top back then.
Yeah, but that guy's
a little bigger.
A lot of heavier.
A little bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Dave Dietrich on the back left.
Is that Rick Moody, second from left, kneeling?
Yes, it is.
Can you slide it just a little bit right? So there's Chuck Campbell in the back. Al Voorhees on the back right, and Chuck Campbell second in from the right.
Well, second player, third person.
A second player from Al Voorhees.
That looks like Cleveland in the middle.
Well, looks like a Van Steenhouse, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say it's a Van Steenhouse.
Looks like Mark Van Steenhouse in the middle.
I'm saying with the pet kneeling in front of
yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. That's our township supervisor.
That's our township supervisor in charge of doing a good job.
Cemetery.
Doing a good job out there.
Let me see if anyone else has any names on this one. Bob Laley said, look at all the hair on Dick Laley. So it must be. Okay. Phil Kennedy says front row, Dick Laley, Rick Moody, Jeff Hines, Danny Cleveland, Phil Kennedy, David Page, Will Hawk, Steve Kalmar. Top row, Dave Dietrich, Mark Oakley, Mike Stiles, Dan Cunningham, Bob Anderson, Matt Van Steenhouse, Dan Lovecamp, Greg Campbell, and Doug Huber and Al Voorhees.
Well, we got 90% of them.
Mm-hmm. You got quite a few of them. So
this is probably what, the early 80s. There's the bike rodeo.
Dick Parker got caught stealing a bike.
Dick Parker contributed a bike for the bike rodeo. Wayne Huber.
Yep. In front of Gamble.
Played basketball for Tuscola back around 57. There's Jimmy Higgins.
Jim Higgins with Wayne Huber. Must have donated a couple bikes.
Jim was always public minded. There's Bill again. Bill Rogers.
Bill Rogers.
Sat with him.
He's judging flowers.
Very talented floral. He won a lot of awards.
Sharon Cappy says Patty Laley question mark. That could be Patty middle.
Sure looks like it does look like Patty now that we look at her.
Yeah.
Now that you give me your name, it sounds right.
Yeah.
Now Patty McHugh.
Patty McHugh.
Married Duncan McHugh.
Our track coach.
Well,
Uh,
being able to see very well, you can certainly pick out Denny Dietrich.
Yeah, I
There's
see
Mike-
him.
there's-
There's Mike Payne
Mike
behind
Payne.
him. Yeah,
To the
Yeah.
right of Dickie is Mike Payne.
yeah.
Yep.
Is that Don Moody and
Go back
Mrs.
again.
Moody?
Let me see.
That's Kathy's parents right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Fred Moody's parents. Where's that at though? That's not their house out in the country.
No, I don't know where it is.
Like somebody had a fire, maybe. Looks like a fire hose.
Looks like a garden hose. I hope that's
That
not.
looked like a hose.
I hope that's not the best we had back in those days. Open up the half incher, Joe.
Well, it was a small fire.
There's Skeezix. That's the first experimental. That was the Wright brothers flew that over Tuscola in 1843.
He probably built it himself.
That's the old, yeah, he built kit airplanes, you know, the old, what they call them, experimentals, or
Mhm.
there they are again.
Yeah,
That's the Atwood Air Farce.
air.
Farce.
See, they never learned how to spell in
Oh,
Atwood. My dad went to Atwood, and he never could spell.
He'd do that stuff just to,
Well, my dad would go up there and change the O to an A.
and nice people.
He would do it just to get a laugh. Well, I recognize the dog,
What's the dog's name?
Wolfer,
Woof, woof.
Shep. Give us a hint on this one.
Let's see. The dog's name is BC.
Give us her name, initials.
Well, I'm not sure, but maybe Janet Flume tagged Mimi Myers Brunson, so maybe that's her mom.
Oh, it looks like Mimi Brunson's mom.
I thought it was Mimi Brunson's mother.
Yeah, and her dog.
And by the way, they have encyclopedias up on top shelf, I think.
Nobody has those anymore.
No one has them anymore.
They lived right by the high school.
Yeah. That dog, Gene Wiggle,
Jane Wiggle.
deputy for a long time, sheriff from about 78 up to 82, maybe a little longer.
I think we had a picture of Gene last week, but this is a
We had
different
Gene last week.
picture.
Nice guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is the old
Jail.
jail. I mean, that's the old radio tower going up. That was the old jail. The state, we flunked so many inspections. I was state attorney at the time, and they finally had to build a new one back in the early 80s. Tommy Harris on the right. And looks like the Ronettes came to town to sing. Look at those hairdos. How do you spike those babies up like that?
Yeah. Tom's the only name we had online.
Yeah, there's Dave Snyder, upper left.
There you go.
Dale Best, lower right. There they are. This is the high school playing the young kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to the top, you go to the bottom. That's Larry Little, or Gary Little,
Very little.
Sluter, football coach Len Strake. There's Jim Bandy. Not sure about 51. You do the bottom.
Looked like Chris Hill to me.
No,
No?
no, this is high school.
No.
Well, these are all
These are
adults
Chris
though,
didn't
playing
play
the
ball.
kids.
They're all, that's Bandit. 40 is Bandit.
43 is Bruce Knopfs. Then Dick Kidwell in the middle. Dave Penrod's 42. The old bear, Gene Murray.
Still playing.
50, still playing.
Who's 52?
Don't know.
We don't know 51 or 52.
Well, let me see if I got any help on this one. It's apologize, it's taking me a little longer because they're all out of order.
Apology accepted.
Apology accepted. We got most of them.
It's
Marcus
Christmas.
Shoemaker says the refs are Dave Snyder and Dale Best. Let's see. She's got same names you did on players.
I just don't recognize 52.
51 and
If
52.
he was a teacher, I don't know.
Could have been a great school.
Well, he could have been a great junior high. He could have, so could 51.
Tracy White says Marcy Shoemaker, bottom row next to Noss. Is that Carrie Kincaid? I don't think that's Carrie Kincaid. On the 50.
Oh, that's Dick. Kidwell, isn't it?
Boy, it looks.
Well, I'm
look,
on the other side.
yeah,
Oh, there's
on
that
the other
Carrie
side.
Kincaid on the left.
I don't think that is though. I mean,
That's pretty big. Carrie's,
I don't think that's Carrie.
I don't think so either.
and then again, you
Could be.
never know. Man, he was a bomber. I'm telling you that.
He could
High
shoot.
school, he averaged 30-some points a game.
He could shoot the rock.
Yeah, he could shoot with the kids. So it could very well be with all of them bent like
You know what
that.
it could be? It's just I don't remember him. This is before I had him in school. So I don't know.
Well, Bandy left here a long time ago.
Andy left in the.
Well, Gary Little left in 79. So this is a picture from the late 70s.
So Gary Little and Dave Penrod were my junior high basketball coaches. Most of these guys were still there when I was in school. Well, you know the one on the right,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got him.
Jerry Reynolds.
Gary Reynolds, manager of the IGA. And this couple won. They won cart number 59 for Christmas. They got to take it home empty.
The old IGA. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any other names on that one.
Oh, this is the headband era. This must be the high school kids that played the teachers.
You know what? I bet it was.
You know, the lower, let's just start. My gosh,
I just,
come on. This is late 70s.
I was in Arcoa.
This is rebellion drug time.
Yeah. I'll bet Murray just knocked the car out of some of these guys.
Oh, he just knocked him into the cheap seats. It's 33. 33 is not Randy Hastings, is it?
Kathy Clapper says this is class of 78.
Yeah, there you go. Randy Hastings, second from the left.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like Randy,
oh.
number 33.
All the way to the right is Jeff Auten. Lower, down low. Jeff Auten, back row.
Who's 25? He's familiar.
Yeah.
Well, Danny Matthews tagged Tim Sipe, but I'm
Well, Tim Sipes probably 45.
45. That'd be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
This would be my sister Roberta's class.
A lot of hair.
Go back to that photo one more time. Zoom in. As Buck Hausman ought to be there. Buck Hausman might be. Is he 33? Zero in on 33. Right in the middle box. Well, that's Randy.
I thought that's who he said was Randy Hastings.
33.
Go to the middle, 33. I think that may be Buck
Oh,
Hausman.
there's two 33s.
Yeah.
That could be Buckaroo.
That's got to be confusing for the scorekeeper.
Yeah, that could be Buck Hausman. Jeff Auten on the right. Yeah. This is the team that played those teachers, I think.
I think so.
And I bet you, like you said, I bet Murray, if he saw a guy with a headband and long hair, he forearm shivered you right into the cheap seats. You paid.
You paid on that one, buddy.
Yeah. Well, that looks like Cliff Ponder, second from left.
It does.
Cliff Rooney.
I don't know.
You want
Well,
initials?
Pardon?
You want initials?
Yeah, on the left.
JS.
I'm sorry.
Go to the third one.
I've slept
Third-
on
third
some.
one.
One RM.
Miller, Ron,
Oh, that's Richard Miller.
Richard Miller.
Rick Miller.
You know what? Rick Miller delivered two of my grandchildren.
In a car.
He was the doctor
Oh,
at Sarah Bush. Yeah.
And on the far right, SR. Okay, Phil Kenny says from left, Joe Stanfield, Cliff Ponder, Rick Miller, and Scott Rideout.
That's Scott right out there. I guess it is.
Well, it looks like to me.
That's my neighbor out in Parkview.
Go say hi to him.
Well, I usually wave to him. We wave to one another.
Maybe he's changed.
There he is.
Actually, when you see their face after a while, you recognize him.
Now let me see. I wish these weren't out of order. Make it a lot easier on me. Okay, I got names on this one too, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Just give us the names. We'll never get them.
From left, Steve Quinn, Kevin Clare, Dan Voorhees, and Scott Rideout.
Dan Boris looks familiar. Looks
Steve
like a-
Quinn. Steve Quinn's looks a little heavier there.
Yeah. Boris looks like a Boris, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Which is good because he is a Boris.
He is a Boris. Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. Initials?
Well, I gotta see if I can find the picture. But Marcy Shoemaker says, tag Kathy Clapper, said that's your husband. So, which would make sense being an FFA. Recognize a couple of these.
Is that an Easton on the left?
Looks like it to me.
That's one of the Shoemaker twins on the far right.
Yeah. I recognize her. Phil Kennedy says Denny Easton, Kevin Clare, Todd Hausman, Dale Anderson, and Jenny Shoemaker.
There you go. Jenny and Jackie. Twins.
My sister's, what's his name?
Allen's sisters.
Back left looks familiar.
I got Scott right in.
Yeah, Scott Rideout. I had him twice before already.
I got the back left. If you give me his initials, if I can just
Back left,
initials.
SJ. According to Todd Hausman.
It's not Steve Jacobs, is it?
Well, let's see. Now let's see.
I don't.
Okay, back row though, that would be RB would be the initials. So Todd Hausman says in the front row is Scott Rideout, Steve Jacobs, and Dale Anderson. And back row, Russ Brown, Todd Hausman.
Russell Brown.
Russ Brown was married to Linda Melanson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russ is,
Looks like Russ.
yeah. I haven't seen him in a long time. He did work at the school for
There's
us.
Russ in the middle.
Oh, that's cardio. Across from Cooper. That's Cooper.
Darren? Or
I think it's Darren.
it could be, he had two brothers, didn't he, Spike? Looks like Darren.
Harry Boy says it's Mike Bosch.
Oh, Big Bosch. Bosches were big.
Okay,
It
Bosch,
looks like a Bosch.
big fellows too.
Yeah. First row, Byron Campbell, Russ Brown, Ralph Esgar. And back row, Todd
Right.
Hausman and Mike Bosch.
Adele Esker played ball for me.
Yeah.
She's a good writer. She had a good script.
We called her number 3.
Number 3. There's Elra's son in the middle.
Both Easton
Easton.
boys. DJ and the other one, yeah.
Denny. Scott Rideout, Denny Easton, and EJ Easton.
Yeah.
That is the home of
Jan Jameson.
but it was first built, Jan Jameson, who wound up being a pork futures buyer up in Bloomington. Very, very successful, owned his own airplane. Passed away a few years ago. But that's now where that's Kahneman's house.
Rick Kahneman's house.
Rick Kahneman's house back in the 60s. Bob Kahneman lived in that house on.
I bet they lived there in the 50s even, didn't they?
Center Street, 50s, Center Street.
That's a very unusual house. I was in that house when we were young.
Go back to the one before. I think the one before is now owned by, she's the Douglas County assessor.
Is that house right as you go into Parkview?
Yeah, it's about three or four down the road on the west side. Pretty progressive when built.
That's very progressive when it was
back
built.
in the 50s. That was an unusual house for Tuscola.
It'd be an unusual house today.
Wonder who did that.
No, I don't know.
Is that stucco?
It was a stucco, Spanish style.
Looks like something you'd see in New Mexico.
Yeah. Well, that looks like that's a pizza place. Is that? Come on, we ought to recognize it.
That's the old Monocles.
Well, not the old Monocles, but the second Monocles. First Monocles was that little bitty building next to the museum where they sell monuments. Used to be a little place, or right on the alley there.
Well, this in the back on the left, that looks like Rod Collier, and next to him is Tommy Peach.
Okay, and down below, finger in the air, that's a Harris.
Yeah, that looks like Roger, maybe.
Looks like next to him looks like Jeff Leninger.
Could be. On the far right looks familiar. Kind of looks like Jamie Henderson to me, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
The guy in the back looks familiar.
Yeah.
Maybe the coach. This looks like a team.
At first glance, it looked like Ron Bean.
I was going to say Ron Bean, but I don't remember Ron having a mustache.
Me neither.
Ron was 56 graduate. That looks like Jerry Fry and Linda Hillard, or Georgiana Hillard.
Rudy Huber says yes.
There's Gene with
Dr. Lossman.
Dr. Lossman. Is that Mrs. Lossman?
I believe so.
So Marcy says yes. Gene Waters, Dr. Lossman, and Mrs. Lossman. And there'd be Gene again. Now, Kathy Rose says it's Bill McCarty. I thought it kind of looked like Bill, but not.
It does. It's a weird looking shot of Bill. I think it is Bill, but
it is Bill, but it's a strange shot.
Bill got up on the wrong side of the bed that day.
Yeah, it looked like.
Yeah, that's Bill.
Snapped it when he wasn't ready.
Yeah. Well, that's Mike Rogers on the right.
Rogers on the right, yeah.
And come on, who's smiling there? Looks like a moonbeam. And I know the guy on the left. Come on, who is that on the left?
Well, it looks like Raymond Waterman.
Well, it's not Raymond.
Teresa Kahn says Denny Hayes, Marge Kahn, Mike Rogers.
Denny Hayes owned the clothing shop briefly on the Sale Street. This is Chamber of Commerce. Is this your dad at the coal mine?
Burdock Mines.
Not my dad. I don't see my dad in any of these. This could be right. He went to the mine around, I'm going to say around 75, maybe.
Hmm.
So these are coal miners at Murdoch.
Hard job. I have claustrophobia. I don't think you'd ever catch me down there.
We need to drive around the country more.
Yeah.
No. Let me see if I got anything on this one. Nope, nothing on that one.
Hmm.
Got some more coal miner photos. A rough bunch, aren't they?
Yeah, you don't want to tangle with them. You don't want them to breathe on you and give you a black lung.
Of course, when Dad was home, we talked about his fellow coal miners. They all had nicknames. I'd hear names like Wormy and
They're smudgy.
Bear
I can see smudgy.
I don't know why we got pictures got smaller for some reason. So, okay, this was a little out of focus. Don't have any names on this one.
Dog.
There's and this is the hospital, German hospital, and in the middle is Norm Rentz, our hospital administrator.
Who's the doctor?
Doctor from the Philippines, but I'm not sure.
Not here long.
The guy on the right's from the management firm, I think. You got any names on this? There's Norm
Nope.
Rentz in the middle.
No, I didn't have any names.
That is
Secretary at the hospital, you suppose? Receptionist?
well, we had billing experts and stuff. It had to be coded.
According to Becky Barnes Hollenby, that's Virginia Berkner at Lamb and Turner in Villa Grove.
Well, there you go.
Fred Berkner's wife.
Fred Berkner worked out the plant with Dad. He used to fix up lawnmowers. Great guy. Fred was a great guy. Good boy. There we go. Slink Ran.
Hey,
That's when Slink Ran came to town.
Yeah.
That's right. Probably looked like Mick Jagger, it looks like.
Well, that's when Mark Maxey had longer hair there. He sang with him for a while back in the middle.
We had a new speaker.
Yeah.
Hooked up.
Slink Ran. You know, I used to dance to Slink Ran a lot. Well, there we go.
Oh, man.
We know her.
Gosh.
Just need the initials.
I feel bad.
Initials? M.
Marilyn Mishner.
Good Lord, yes.
Sorry, Al. We're a little slow on the uptake there.
Boy. That's her. Wonderful person. Wonderful
Good
teacher. Well, did a lot for kids that no one ever knew about.
And believe that's Scott Mishner with her.
Yeah, it's Scott. Yeah, she hadn't had Philip yet. Marilyn's a good-looking gal there. Okay, second one in is the campus.
This land. Second one up the right is was married to Juanita Brace. Dale Ray.
Yes, Dale Ray.
Dale Ray, second right. The third one up the right is Carl's. What was Rogers Brothers? Is that a Carl's?
I don't know.
Over to the left is
second one in is a campus.
There's Fred Berkner's. No, that's this could be Lamb. This could be Lamb's over in Camargo. It could also be Phil Lamb's dealership. That was his dad's implement dealership in Camargo.
Rudy Huber says it's Sullivan International in Camargo.
Well, that's where Lamb's was, and then Frank Sullivan.
Well, Sullivan
Lamb for a while, and then Frank bought him out.
So the one in the middle you should recognize.
Yeah. Well, you got to give us initials.
MM.
Who?
MM. Mike,
Nope. Who?
Mike Meyer.
That's Mike.
I
That's
thought
what
you said M-E-N.
You said
M.
M. Wow.
That's what they're saying.
Give us the names that you've got.
Well, they're not all in order. Joe Kappas,
Yeah.
Del Rey.
Meyer, Charles Schultz. Yeah, kind of hard to tell. One says, is that Randy? Tag Camille Allen Carls.
Carls. That's it. Randy Carls. That's the tall guy.
Class of 63.
Well,
Or forward.
that was his older brother,
Huh?
Roger.
Oh, Roger.
His older brother.
Yeah. That's Mr. Lamb.
There's Mr. Lamb, and is that Frank Sullivan?
Believe so. He
Frank
looks like
Sullivan? Yep, Frank Sullivan and John Lamb, according to Rudy Heber.
yeah.
That's Phil Lamb's dad. Nice guy.
I actually recognize this one.
Oh, that's Jan Chapel.
Missy and Mike.
Well,
Out of the country.
No, it's Matt.
Matt?
It's Matt and Mike in the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt and Mike.
Mm.
That's their house a little east and north of town.
Let me see if I can catch up on the pictures here. Jan Thurn now, I think.
Lives down in where? They moved south, didn't they, somewhere?
Married Bill Thurn and they moved to Tennessee.
Get rid of Illinois taxes, trying to evade Illinois taxes.
You know what I heard, Dave? Illinois is second on the list for the most evacuees as far as getting out of Dodge, so to speak.
Oh, hell yes. Amazing we're not number one. Okay.
Jennifer Henninger on the left? No, that's not Jennifer.
Now,
See if I can find the picture.
go Northward School? Southward?
That's Atwood. That's Atwood Gym. Bet money on it.
We played there.
Yeah, I don't have any names.
Same gym my dad played in.
Nope. See the bleachers? That's
Yeah.
Atwood.
Yeah. Okay, Jerry Breen on the right. Is that
Oh,
Bruno?
Bruno,
Bruno
Al Boris,
Gene
Gene Wiggle,
and the X-ray technician.
Phipps,
Phipps, the X-ray technician at German Hospital.
John Phipps.
John Phipps. That was our adult mile relay team that came in last in the Senior Olympics.
Gene looks like a out of a Charlie Chaplin movie.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. I'll bet they were working on the Little League diamond in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form.
Yeah, they were donating their time
For that.
Mike Kyle on the right.
Yeah.
My sister's class 63 wound up being a physical therapist over in Decatur, married Marianne Parrish. I think that's what he did. Still there. Great singer.
He did have a good voice. I
Is
remember.
that Tommy Stewart on the left?
Can't tell who that is.
And the gal in the middle, I don't recognize.
Nor do I, but that is Mike Kyle. Oh.
Betty Carlson, second from right. Fourth from right is Mrs. Murray. Jean
Yeah,
Murray.
that's Lucille.
Fifth from right is Sally Dowd.
In the back is Jan Hauser.
Jan Hauser, the tall one. Is Toppy Moody the third one from the right?
Could be. It is Toppy.
Mrs. Carlson second, Toppy Moody, Mrs. Murray, Sally Dowd, Mrs. Hauser. And we're starting to run out of steam.
Yeah.
And saying this looks like German Hospital Auxiliary occasion.
Right. That's the German hospital food line. That's inside Jarman.
Yeah, I don't have any names on that one. That Atwood again?
Yes. I recognize the bleachers.
But not the guy.
Not the guy.
I recognize one of these guys.
Yeah, boy, that's old Roy.
And the other one would be Jerry Reynolds
Yeah, that's Jerry.
on the left.
Roy Gould bought that business from Betzel, didn't he?
Bill Betzel.
Bill Betzel.
Yeah, I drove for Roy.
He drove for everybody.
Yeah, drove school bus for him. My games and all that. Anything else he needed.
That's Chapels again.
Yep.
I want to say Talbot, maybe, or something like that.
Tolan.
Tolan. I knew it started with
Ray Tolan used to coach here briefly,
Basketball coach.
2 or 3 years.
started with a key.
Came from Lewistown, Petersburg area.
Bell bottom pants.
Bell bottom pants, probably 70s.
Yes, he was in the 70s.
What's the name again?
Ray Tolan, Toland.
I knew I recognized him, but couldn't
He
place
was,
it.
yeah, there's Cox in
John Cox.
John Cox in the middle. Very musically inclined.
Math teacher at Mattoon High School.
What was he, class
For years.
67, you think?
I can't remember.
Or
I think
68.
68.
68.
He's with Les Hall,
That's all.
I think.
Darrell Ferris.
Yeah.
That's the only name I had.
There's Mrs. Smith on the left. Lived down by the high
Where-
school.
Virginia.
Virginia Smith is the first one. Is that Beasley, third from the left? Bob Beasley's mom.
And
Second one is the Flock. Third one's Beasley. Not sure about the rest. Sadie Beasley.
I don't know.
You got any names?
You've got more names than I did.
That's not Keith Tingley, is it?
Gosh, that looks like Juanita.
That looks like Juanita Mishner, but is that Keith Tingley with her?
That's what Tim Hull says.
Could be.
Good old Keith Tingley. Always in a good mood.
National and Bucks president.
It about killed his business because he was traveling the nation all the time.
Looks like Rockholm Gardens.
I remember mom and dad saying, Keith, because they lived across the street from Keith, they said,
Never home.
he's constantly going to things. He had a printing business in his garage back across the street. They said, Keith, you can't be gone all the time. He loved it though. National recognition.
Nope.
Nope. I don't have any names there.
That's Mr. Aldrich. And this Mrs. Aldrich.
Lauren Aldrich and 2 of his girls in the back. Darnita, maybe.
I don't know. Sue.
Sue.
That's right there in front of the vault.
He bought Sturgill's jewelry store.
Florence Aldrich.
Lauren Aldrich could restore any clock or watch you had.
I bought a lot of gifts from him
I
at
did
Christmas
too.
time.
I did too. He's a really nice guy.
Died right there in the.
Yeah. In the saddle.
Mhm.
That looks like Dale in the back.
Burns.
Well, I was thinking of, could be Dale Burns.
Maybe I better get in and look.
Who sold insurance? Mulligan, Dean Mulligan.
Oh, Dean Mulligan, possibly.
It's either Dean Mulligan or Dale Burns. I don't know. And it's looks like Rotary
Hmm.
International. Can't tell. There you go. I'll give you this one. You can guess this one.
That's a Chevrolet pickup,
Chevy pickup.
being followed by a Ford pickup.
Now we did that just based on the decals on the hubcaps. That's pretty good.
Says traveling team of some sort.
Yeah.
We didn't know what a traveling team was.
Now Bill knows every girl ever swam at the Tuscola pool.
Tuscola pool.
Now the bikinis didn't come for a while, so
No, they didn't.
this is kind of shocking. It looks like 70s back when.
It's hard to tell with the wet hair.
Yeah.
Well, that's Hank Groves in the center,
All right, looks like Clevedon's girl.
not Chris.
Yeah.
think it's
Chris
Chris.
Evidence.
Is it Chris?
Tabor. Mhm.
Chris Tabor. Beautiful gal.
Very
Yes.
smart.
It's the only
Very-
Evidence girl.
Her brother was even smarter.
Oh man, he was smart.
He ought to be in here somewhere. What you got here, David?
From the left, John Kennedy, Barb Stednica, Barb Workman now, Hank Groves, Melinda Campbell, perhaps, one of the Campbells,
Hmm.
and Chris Clevedence Tabor.
John
That's
Kennedy
honest.
owns the
Laundromat.
laundromat,
Yeah, entrepreneur.
and the Studnicka girl passed away, I
Is
believe.
it Studnicka or Studnicka?
Stednica.
Charlie was the manager.
He's all a year older than me. In the back,
They were very bright kids. Who's in the back?
in the background, looks like Dan Hance.
It is Dan Hans.
Not sure about on the right.
Is this back in the days when only 5 or 6 people got National Honor Society?
Yeah, will this be class of 82, I think.
Yeah. My senior year, I think 10 of us got in. I think now everybody that shows up gets in.
Get a ticket.
I'm being a little facetious. Now there's the Ferguson girl, and the second from the left is Lori Ferguson,
Mhm.
who went on to get a PhD in, I think, art history, art appreciation. On the right is a Davis boy.
Back left is a Hans, Dan Hans.
Yeah.
There's what's her name again? Patty
Laley.
Laley, second from right on the top. We should know the upper right.
I recognize a bunch of these.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, back row, Dan Hance, Amy Brown, Denise Bosch, Patricia McHugh, Patty Laley, Jim Kestner. Front row, Christina Went, Lori Ferguson, Greg Dukeman, and Jim Davis.
Jimmy Davis.
Greg Dukeman.
There's Greg Dukeman.
Again, class of 82.
That Kestner ended up, he may still be on the school board at Villa Grove.
Well, I know he does some coaching there. And I think he coaches cross country, maybe.
Possibly.
He was a math teacher. I believe he got his PhD and was at EIU for a while.
Didn't Davis get like a appointment in military academy or something? I don't know if he didn't go, but I think he was
To Air Force, didn't
Air
he?
Force, was it, or Army? I'm not sure.
And next to him, Greg Dukeman went on to work for NASA.
So we do have some rocket scientists coming out of Tuscola.
You know, in that picture before, Chris Clevedence Tabor, she was a math teacher for many years at Arcola.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, high school. Good teacher. Just
There was some really bright kids come out
really
of this.
good gal.
Really bright kids came out of this era. 82 and 84. They skipped 83.
Yeah.
83 is more athletic.
83 is a smart class.
Well, average.
Okay, I don't have any name here.
I don't drink, so I would not know that guy. That Rockin' Roddy's. Bill, there's your new house coming in.
There it is. Wow.
Back when they used to move houses, they don't do it anymore.
Yeah. We moved one once, Ed Kleiss and I, for Charlotte Richards.
Okay, Rusty Taylor says Bill Cooper and his Peterbilt relocating a house they bought west of town to south of town by the I-57 overpass. And Bradley Harper says, yep, that was one interesting summer. Me, Spike, Darren, PL, Bill, we all got underneath that house, tripped it up to move it.
P.L. Cooper.
Yeah,
Live right across the street from the Cooper Motel, right where Darren's got his car dealership now. There's a big white house there.
there's Ned.
Ned. His dad, Earl, had the Ford dealership he bought from Chop Rice, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. And then
Earl died, and so Ned took it over.
took a dealership.
Very
And
successful.
Ann drove that little black
I
Thunderbird.
was just talking to Ann the other day. They were heading down to.
Oh, did you?
She and Jim were heading down to Florida to Hawaii Maria, where they got a house, and we were talking about. She wanted to know about Greg Skinner. She dated Greg. I said everybody wanted to date you, Ann. You drove a 55 or 56 black and white T-Bird. She said, so it was just my car? I said, well, the car was part of it.
That one day, Charlie.
One day, Charlie. I had one date with her, I think. Ann was a cute, pretty girl. Still is a very pretty woman.
And we've seen both of Ned's kids' pictures in here this
Yeah,
week.
they were wildly successful.
Bumper and Lori.
Very, very bright, very successful in life. Ned and Audriana did a good job.
Let me look.
Now is that Bumper on the right
No,
and Daryl Price in the middle?
I'd say it's Gerald Price in the middle, but I don't
I
know.
don't know who's it. It looks like Daryl Price, but
I don't
But
have
that would
any
have been-
names, but I don't think that's Bumper. No.
no, but
No.
I think Daryl was Daryl was when I was in the 8th grade, they had Daryl come in, might have been a freshman, and come in and read to us about dinosaurs. He was always considered a child prodigy.
Hmm.
Well, looks like the old North Ward.
Sherman Marsh.
And on the right,
In the
bottom
back.
right is Bob Reese,
Mhm.
bottom right. And
That's Mr. Wellerman.
from the left. The first one is Flume,
Flume.
Walt Flume, Wib
Hull.
Mr. Willerman. This is the class of
About 38,
well,
37, 38. You know who that is in the back? That's C.W. Gordy
C.W. Gordy.
in the back. Helen Ziegler?
No,
Not.
And Tim Hole says Sherm Marsh, top row right.
Yeah, I got that.
you think it's as early as 39? I thought it was more in the 40s.
No, these guys, Sherm graduated like 38, 39.
Okay. Well, Wibb's buried right next to his brother, and I got the dates out there. Well, Walt Flume, this is, come on, we know him. All we need is the initials.
Yeah, I don't have any names, but this looks like it might be flipped.
Oh, that's why I don't recognize him. His head
Yeah.
is flipped.
Sometimes, yeah, that's why. That's the only reason why.
Hmm.
No names there.
I just got to know those cheerleaders. True Value, Jim Higgins' True Value thing. Store. that where
That's
Kelsey?
one of the Dickinson boys, isn't it? Tall one there? Craig?
In this Kelsey Furniture now? It needs to be down. Dixon?
Dixon, Craig Dixon.
He was a tall boy. One of the Dixon, there are three of them.
Well, Eric Alexander tagged Katrina Wynn, Cole Becker, Randall Douglas, and Jody Marie Wynn. Looks like a Douglas there, the short.
Yeah, that's right there. The short kid there is Douglas. Where did she? Oh, there's Katrina Wynn. Is it? You say Katrina?
Who's this word?
I see she tagged. You know.
Yeah, right over here. That's Katrina. Huh.
Same deal.
Becky went in the back right.
It is. She's chaperoning. She's a good one to chaperone.
Oh boy, I wish she'd been my chaperone in high school.
Becky liked to have a lot of fun.
Becky didn't leave too much on the table in life, did she?
No, she put it out there. She had a good time.
Had a good time.
Yeah.
She and Ronnie had a good life, good kids.
I think that's Butch Hall, the officer.
Looks like Butch Rooney.
Is that it?
That's it.
Must be it. Wasn't sure we'd get through all of them today.
We do.
We got about what, 83%?
Yeah, you did pretty well. I'll give you a B plus.
Okay, another B plus.
I'll never get in the national honor.
You'll never get the National Honor Society. You'll get close.
I got close.
Well, I'm gonna take a break. You wanna take a break or hang it and let it go?
Well, I think we're done. So
Okay,
thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.
thanks, Dave.
Thank you.